Hi everybody and welcome to Thursday's English lesson. We are continuing with our Power of Reading book, and I can reveal to you today that the title of the book is Jemmy Button, and it's by somebody called Jennifer Ullman and Valerie Vidali. So let's find out a little bit more about the book and remind ourselves of what we have looked at so far. So Jemmy Button, this is the front cover. You're quite familiar with the illustration already, where you talked about somebody being quite small and looking out for some foliage. So let's continue with our learning today. Here's the picture of Jemmy that you had a look at and thought about illustrating. And to start with, some of you thought he was a carrot. He does look quite orangey, just poking out between there, and looks the triangular shape. But hopefully now, when you saw the next illustration of him, you know that he is a small person sat on top of the trees looking at the night sky. And the text in the book, the first bit of text that I shared with you: once long ago on a faraway island, there was a boy. Some nights he climbed to the tallest branch of the tallest tree to look at the stars. He listened to the lap of the waves and imagined what it would be like to live in the world on the other side of the ocean. And we had a look at the night sky. Lots of you wrote me postcards today that I read about how he felt sitting at the top of that tree and what he was seeing. Now, in geography this week, you had a chance to look at some physical features and learnt a bit more about South America. So Jemmy Button is actually living in South America. So let's find out a little bit more about that. And you did watch some videos as well about Tierra del Fuego, and you had a chance to look at some of the physical features that would have been where Jemmy Button lived. This is the next illustration in the book. We can see some really tall black figures going through some long grass. I'm going to move on and look at some key questions, but feel free to go back in this presentation to remind yourself of this illustration. The questions I've got for you. So you can have a look at that new illustration, and I want you to think about: who are the people? Who might they be? Why are they here? Why might they have gone to Tierra del Fuego? Where have they come from? And what might they want? Just a quick reminder, there's the illustration. Very dark figures. And there are key questions. So have a go at writing some of those answers down on a piece of paper. If you want to pause the presentation and flick back and have a look at the picture and note down some of your ideas. Now I want you to think about what we've seen of Jemmy so far in the book. Think about what we already know about him. You've done some things about what he looked like and what he might feel. What parts of him have we seen? In the illustration I've shown to you, what can't we see? Are there any differences in size between these characters and Jemmy, the pictures of Jemmy that we've seen in the book so far? So again, if you want to pause this and have a go at answering these questions on a piece of paper, again, flip back and have a look at the illustration, and we're going to move on and actually find out what words it says on that page to see if it can give us any more clues about who these people are and why they might be there. One day, a boat came with visitors. Was this what you expected? Is that who you thought these people were? Have a go at answering that question. Jot down your answer. Why or why not? Did you expect that? Yes, I expected it because. Was it not what you expected? I didn't expect it. But remember to give me a reason why or why not. Again, if you need to pause this to have a think about the question and flick back to the text, please do. What does the word visitor mean to you? What I'd like you to do for today's piece of work is to draw me someone who has visited you and write down some key words around it. So have a think about somebody who has visited you and have some key words written around it. So let's have a look at an idea. So for example, I'm remembering having a visitor before COVID when people were allowed in your house, and that visitor was my Nanny Pat. So I would draw a picture of her. Your pictures will be much better than mine. So I would draw a picture of her. Excuse my artwork today. And I would always draw some flowers in Nanny Pat's hands, because sometimes visitors tend to bring you a gift. When someone visited in the past, obviously not at the moment, you might get a hug, you might get a kiss, you might share some food together, you might have lunch together, you might laugh, you might have fun. Can you draw me a picture of somebody who's been to visit you and write down some keywords and ideas around it? What kind of person a visitor is to you? That work can be uploaded onto Dojo, as well as those key questions that we had a look at earlier together. Like I said, you can scoot back through the presentation and remind yourself of those. Your final job today. What do you think is going to happen next in the story? Can you make a prediction? I hope you have a really good day, and I look forward to seeing your work uploaded to Dojo. Remember, if I send something back to you in a draft, it's so you can add some extra detail or respond to some feedback I've given you. Look forward to seeing your work, guys. Take care.